সম্ভাবনার নানা গল্পের সাথে সংযুক্ত আমরা বিজনেস বাংলাদেশ। স্বাগত জানাচ্ছি বৈশাখী টেলিভিশনের নিয়মিত সাপ্তাহিক আয়োজন বিজনেস বাংলাদেশ অনুষ্ঠানে। সঙ্গে আছি আমি সুমায়া জামান। ব্যবসার নানা সম্ভাবনার কথা জানাতে স্টুডিওতে আছেন একজন বিশেষজ্ঞ। প্রথমেই পরিচিত হই তার সাথে। আমাদের সাথে আছেন বিশিষ্ট ব্যবসায়ী, স্পোর্টস মেন্টর এবং philanthropist Mr. Krishan Anand. Welcome to our show, sir.
So nice of you for having me.
আজ আমাদের বিষয় ইনভেস্টমেন্ট ইন পাওয়ার, আইটি অ্যান্ড এভিয়েশন। এবারে চলে যাচ্ছি মূল আলোচনায়। Sir, we know that you are involved with a lot of business and especially in three sectors, IT, aviation and power.
Yeah.
So what do you think? What are the potentials in Bangladesh in these three sectors?
So as we all know, any basis of economy and finances is supply and demand, and Bangladesh by population is eighth most largest populated country in the world, and it's still considered in the third world countries. So the gap is so much more, and there is so much more to do, and just by those facts, especially in these sectors, as when we say aviation, IT, and power. So as far as power is concerned, there's so much demand of power. Only 50% of the population is connected to electric grid, and the rest of it is still not power friendly, you know, as far as we can say that. And so getting companies like power, aviation, and IT, we can do so much work in this company, and especially with the help of the government, which is doing fantastic work and in welcoming the companies, especially foreign investment in Bangladesh.
And why do you think Bangladesh is the perfect place to invest in these sectors right now?
Yeah, so like I said, there is so much more to do here, and so eighth most populated country in the world, with almost 50% of the population is below 25. 85% of the population is below 55. So much workforce. So just by those facts, if we get companies here and we provide employment, we are generating the electricity, we are generating IT force. All these young people who are unskilled in IT sector, and all we need is just right environment and ecosystem, and you give them the skills and they will get the business for us.
In general, how our economy is going to be benefited by all these investments?
Bangladesh is the world's most poorest nations, one of the world's most poorest nations, and 70% of the population lives in rural areas. So all these
worst nation. What do you mean about worst nation? As in population?
No, 70% of the population lives in rural areas.
Okay. Right.
And of Bangladeshi population, and all these this foreign investment coming, especially in the aviation sector, IT sector, and power sector, which will strengthen the economy, and which will employ people, which will create skilled workforce, which will further create strengthen their lifestyle, and it will create an ecosystem where it can snowball, and Bangladesh itself is growing at the highest rate in Southeast Asia. So sky's the limit for this country. All it needs is a bit of help from the government and
foreign investors. So I was coming into this point about the manpower you were saying. So do you think you can utilize our manpower?
Exactly. I mean, that's, the manpower is all it needs is channelization. They are just waiting. the youngest workforce in Southeast Asia after India. All we have to do is just provide them the platform, and they are capable enough. And this is being started and kick-started by our Honorable Prime Minister, and she's doing fantastic work. Just give them the platform, I think. So energy sector, to give you an example, energy sector has provided around the employment for around 2 lakh people in 2017. Now we are planning to create 5 times more. Say suppose we are planning to set up the solar plants for at least 500 megawatts every year. So which can quadruple or at least 5 times the workforce which we are giving now.
Right.
So that's huge number in itself.
As you know, we have both skilled and unskilled workers here in Bangladesh. So what do you think that our manpower needs certain skill to work in these sectors?
Development of these industries and these sectors will provide ample opportunities for employment of skilled workforce. At the same time, it will create an environment where we will provide, we will educate unskilled ones. And
are you planning for some sort of training?
Yes.
Or what?
Yes, alongside with that, alongside using the skilled force and training them for the immediate requirement, and at the same time we'll be using training schools and training programs to create new workforce, which will in fact have a huge effects in the long run. So what I'm trying to say is, over a period of time, the same skilled force can launch themselves, say not just in Bangladesh, but they can say suppose for IT sectors, which is huge now in the world. So with our IT program, we're going to provide them the knowledge which they can use to enhance their portfolio and work for the development of the country, not just in the country, but outside the country as well.
So you were talking about IT. So
yeah.
What sort of plan do you have for IT sector in particular?
Well, information technology is the sector where you don't, if you're not working along with the world, you'll miss the bus. That is why we, along with the government, we are planning to introduce the conversion of the documents and various certificates, and wherever we can involve in transitioning of old technology to new technology. In the world, everything is about cloud these days, less paperwork, and along with that, it is quicker, it is more friendly with people who are always on their laptops, are always on their phone. They don't have time for correspondence with old age systems.
Right.
So with introduction of these technologies, things will be quicker, and the same work will be more, we can do it more efficiently and more credibly with direct access. We are going to change the whole system with the help of the government.
We know that you are a principal investor in airport extension and development of new airport in Bangladesh. So tell us more about that.
We hope we are planning to work with the government in development of extension of the airports and also the new airport. And not just that, we are looking forward to work in aviation transport management as well, which is very important. And aviation has huge scope in Bangladesh, and we are planning to provide that.
So do you think the business policy of the government is more flexible for your investments?
Current government is doing fantastic job in bringing the foreign investors and providing the ease of business. Lots of companies are coming and they are growing and they are looking forward to do work in Bangladesh, and it all happened just because the current government had made it so easy and so business friendly as far as foreign investors are concerned. So I don't see any problems in that as far as the business environment is concerned.
So what do you think that how foreign investment can help grow up the banking sector in general?
So the government of Bangladesh is actively seeking foreign investments. According to Central Bank of Bangladesh, the country received 2 billion in foreign direct investments. All this strengthens the economy, and with the help of the government and with the help of robust banking system, and with all this foreign investment coming up, it strengthens the whole financial systems and all these banking sectors, and give them more business and make them more robust and help it grow.
So we know that you're a sports mentor. Do you have any plans for Bangladesh to involve yourself with any plan in Bangladesh?
Oh, absolutely. This subject is very close to my heart, since I've been a sportsman myself and very actively involved, and I understand how sportsmen think and the importance of infrastructure which they need to excel in the world platform, and that is just an extension of my personality and the vision of my company. So since we are in Bangladesh, we would love to do a lot of work with sportsmen and the young people.
We also know that you are involved with a lot of charitable organizations. So tell us more about that. How do you manage to run your business and social work?
My family has been doing a lot of philanthropic activities since decades, and through hospitals, through educational institutions, and everything free of cost. So it's just an extension of that, and that's what I have learned from them, and that if God Almighty has given you something and made you capable, you should always help the needy and the poor and help them.
So we are almost at the end of our show, and I would like to ask you the last two questions. So in very short, what are your future plan and any advice for our viewers?
We have a vision and a huge plans for the future, and we would like to work with the government and with the Bangladeshi people, and my advice is especially to the youngsters that if only you have determination, and if you only have the same zeal and vision, we nations can go places, and we'll be sooner or later we'll be on the world map and one of the most developed nations in this area.
I hope you have a nice journey with us, and we are really honored to have you with us tonight, and thanks for coming to our show.
Pleasure is all mine. Thank you.
দর্শক, এই ছিল আমাদের আজকের অনুষ্ঠানে। আগামী সপ্তাহে নতুন কোনো অতিথি এবং নতুন কোনো বিষয় নিয়ে আবারও চলে আসবো আপনাদের সামনে। সে পর্যন্ত ভালো থাকুন আর আমাদের সাথেই থাকুন। ধন্যবাদ সবাইকে।